Welcome to Crafting Made Simple, the show where we take a look at some amazing DIY projects and give you the shortcuts straight to the fun part.
And today, we are definitely getting into the festive spirit. We're talking about a holiday classic, but with a very personal touch.
We are. We're talking about building your own glowing DIY Christmas village using just paper and cardstock.
It sounds so charming.
It is. And if you've ever wanted to create one of those holiday displays that looks super complex but is actually, surprisingly simple,
Yeah.
this is for you. It's all about adding this incredible warmth to your home.
Right. And our mission today is really to pull apart the amazing guide from the Paperflow Designs blog. We're going to distill it all down.
Yep, we're going to show you how to start with just a sheet of paper and end up with this beautiful illuminated winter scene. It's pretty magical.
It really is. And the great thing is, there are sort of two ways to go about it.
Right. There's the really accessible route, scissors, maybe some recycled materials, or you can go a bit more advanced, a bit more high-tech.
So there's an entry point for everyone, really.
Exactly. Now, before we jump in, just a heads up that all the templates, the supply list, everything we talk about, it's all in the show description.
Or you can find it over on the blog itself, which is paperflowdesigns.com.
And one more thing. If you want to keep the inspiration coming all year, you should really sign up for the Crafting Made Simple newsletter.
Oh, definitely. It's full of great stuff.
It is. Just click the link in the description. It's right there.
Oh.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's lay the foundation.
The structure. That's where it all begins.
Okay, so let's unpack this. If I'm starting from absolute zero, the first thing I'm worried about is the blueprint. Where do I even find a template for a little paper house?
So you start with the templates, and you can draw your own, of course, but honestly, the internet is just flooded with free printables.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's perfect if you just want to experiment or, make a quick little display without a huge commitment.
Okay, so that's the easy entry point. But if we want to get a more professional-looking result, what should we be looking for?
You're looking for Christmas Village SVG files. That is the first, critical insight here.
An SVG file.
Okay, because the value of an SVG isn't just the outline of the house. It's that it has separate information for the cut lines. So the windows, the doors, and crucially, the score lines.
The score lines, why are they so important?
They completely changed the assembly process.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trying to measure and score all those tiny little fold lines by hand, it takes forever. And you almost always end up with slightly crooked houses.
I can absolutely picture that.
But when the score lines are embedded in the file, the paper it bends perfectly where it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you these professional crisp edges instantly. It's a huge time saver.
That makes so much sense. Okay, let's talk materials. If we're just gluing it all together, does the type of paper really matter that much?
It matters immensely. I mean, it dictates everything from how durable it is to how it looks when you light it up.
Oh, the luminosity.
Exactly. So for the best result, you want a sturdy base. White or cream cardstock is what the blog recommends because it holds its shape really well, and those light colors are perfect for letting the light shine through.
So the goal is to make the paper glow, not just be lit from behind.
Precisely. But, the cool thing is the variety. If you're going for more of a rustic gingerbread house look, you can use recycled materials.
Like from a delivery box.
Yeah, totally. Repurposed cardboard works great for that rougher texture, or even paper mache if you want a more sculptural feel.
I love that. It makes the project so approachable no matter what you have on hand. But now we have to talk precision.
The tiny windows.
The tiny windows. I could spend hours with a craft knife cutting out 20 little window panes, and they would still all be a little wonky. How do we solve that problem efficiently?
And this is where we get to that second path we mentioned, the advanced path.
Oh.
For a casual crafter, patience and a sharp blade are your tools. But if you're building a huge village, or maybe even selling them, cutting by hand just isn't sustainable. That's when you turn to technology.
Wait, okay, if I have to go buy some $1,000 machine, can we still call this Crafting Made Simple? Is this really a weekend project?
That's a really good distinction to make. We're talking about two separate approaches.
Yeah.
For the casual crafter, it is simple, it's affordable, it's fun. You use the free printables, hand tools, you're good to go.
Right.
The laser cutter method, which the source material goes into in a lot of detail, that's for the advanced crafter. Someone looking for, high volume efficiency and just flawless results. It's an investment.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's for the person who needs 30 identical, perfect little houses. So for that person, the one with the machine like the X tool, what do they need to get started?
Well, beyond the machine and the cardstock, you need the right digital files, those Christmas Village SVGs we talked about. You'll also need good glue or double-sided tape, and of course the lights. Battery-operated LED tea lights or string lights.
And on the computer side?
You'll need software like Xtool Creative Space or Adobe Illustrator, something that can read the vector files.
Got it. So we've loaded the cardstock into the machine. What's the biggest mistake someone can make when cutting something as delicate as paper with a laser? I'm just picturing burnt edges.
That is the single biggest pitfall, setting the power too high. Cardstock is super delicate, so your settings have to be just right to cut cleanly without scorching.
So what does that look like, low and slow?
More like low power and medium speed. On a typical hobby laser, you're probably looking at power below 10% and a speed around 150 millimeters per second.
Okay.
But the mantra here, and it's so important, is always test on a scrap piece first. Always. You test until you get a clean cut with no charring.
That is fantastic, practical advice. Okay, so the machine does its thing, and now we have this perfectly cut, perfectly scored, flat piece of paper. How do we get it from flat to 3D?
And that moves us into assembly, which is all about making the houses last. Since the score lines are so precise, the folding part is actually really easy. You just fold inward along every single line to set the creases.
Before you even add glue.
Before any adhesive. Then it's a question of glue or tape.
What's better?
Well, it depends. Double-sided tape is fast and clean, no drying time. But a good, clear-drying, tacky glue will give you a much stronger, more permanent bond.
So if you use glue, you need patience.
You absolutely need patience. You apply the glue to the tabs, hold the joint, and I'd even recommend using little binder clips to hold it perfectly still while it cures. If you rush the drying, you get warped corners.
That is a great tip. Don't rush the drying, and then the magic happens. The glow.
This is what really elevates it. You place a warm LED light inside, and the whole thing just transforms. The light streams through those intricate little windows, and it creates this incredibly cozy vibe.
It brings it to life.
Totally. It feels alive.
And you mentioned safety earlier, which is obviously key when you're mixing paper and lights.
Absolutely critical.
Right.
We have to stress this. All the lights have to be battery-operated LEDs. Tea lights, string lights, whatever. They produce almost no heat, so there's no risk of fire. Never, ever use old incandescent bulbs or real candles.
Right. So the structure is built, the glow is ready. Now for the personality. How do we make these look less like paper models and more like, miniature buildings?
This is the fun part, adding texture.
Oh.
If you use cardboard or paper mache, paint is your best friend. You can do a light acrylic wash to make a White House look aged, or use a thick texture paste to make it look like stucco or snow on the roof.
And a little bit of glitter never hurts.
A little bit of glitter for frost on the windowsills is perfect.
I imagine picking a color scheme is pretty important for tying it all together.
It's the key to making it look cohesive, yeah. If your base is white and cream, use warm accents like deep reds, forest greens, maybe some gold or silver. A Victorian theme might use jewel tones, while a rustic theme would be more about the natural cardboard and simple white paint.
And to make the scene feel lived in, you need all the little details around the houses.
You're creating a little world, a narrative. The blog suggests adding things like miniature Christmas village people, little bottle brush trees, maybe some lampposts or benches.
And you can mix and match styles.
Oh, absolutely. You could have your main high-precision cardstock house right next to a few charming, rugged gingerbread houses made from recycled cardboard. That variety makes it more interesting.
Okay, so we've got the houses. Now we need the landscape, the winter wonderland itself.
Right, and designing the scene is about thinking in terms of scale and elevation. So you start with your ground cover faux snow, some cotton batting, whatever you have.
Just a white sheet could work.
A white sheet could work in a pinch. And then you use little pieces of foam or even stacked books under the snow to create hills and valleys. That's what gives it dimension.
I love the idea of mixing different themes in one display.
You totally should. The source mentions you could have your whimsical paper village set up right next to something more traditional, like a nativity scene. It kind of bridges that gap between festive fun and the more reverent side of the holiday.
So once this whole masterpiece is done, where do we put it? Just the classic fireplace, mantel.
The mantel is great, a console table, a deep shelf, all good, stable options. But for something a little more unique and eye-catching, the blog suggests a ladder display.
A ladder.
Yeah, like a decorative blanket ladder. You can use the rungs as different tiers, so parts of the village are higher up than others. It gives it this really dynamic, layered look.
That's a fantastic idea, and I really appreciate that the source materials keep coming back to using recycled materials. It just makes the whole thing feel better.
It really does.
Yeah.
It ties back to that idea of accessibility. Building a beautiful display out of old cardboard boxes is such a great eco-friendly approach. And that leads to, I think, the best part of this whole thing,
Which is
involving the family.
getting the kids involved.
Precisely. Let them build their own little section of the village. Give them cardboard, colorful paper, safety scissors, and just let their creativity run wild. It's such a great way for them to add their own touch to the holiday decor.
This has been such a great walkthrough, really balancing the simple craftiness with the high-tech precision.
Yeah, at the end of the day, whether you go the simple route with cardboard and paint or the advanced path with a laser cutter, you're going to end up with this unique, heartwarming display that just casts the perfect holiday glow.
It's all about the details, right? The crisp folds, the safe lighting.
Exactly. The patience for the drying time, all those little things add up.
And just a reminder, everyone, that all the resources we talked about, the supply list, the links to Paperflow designs, the templates, it's all in the show notes and over at paperflowdesigns.com.
So, to leave you with a final thought.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about a cozy winter village. But what if you challenge yourself to create a custom theme?
Ooh, I like this.
Could you build your entire village out of, say, recycled cereal boxes, create a miniature main street of brands you recognize, or what if you themed it after a favorite book, like a fantasy world? Use the paper to build something truly unconventional.
That is the perfect challenge, a great way to take all this knowledge and make a display that is absolutely 100% you this season. And don't forget to get even more ideas by signing up for the Crafting Made Simple newsletter.
The link's in the description.
It is. Just give it a click. https://birdsend.pageforms981 Biozel dial your every des.
Happy crafting, everyone.
We'll catch you on the next one.